Hello world. I got a request from this guy again. He's the most active subscriber in my channel, and he wants me to model rim and tires again, but for computer games this time. I have already a lot of videos on how to model rims and tires, time lapses, tutorials, subscribers request, but I don't have any video about how to model rim and tires for computer games. For computer games, nowadays computer games are really advanced, extremely advanced, but still the 3D model has to be as optimized as it possible. It has to be light, it should not be too heavy, the geometry has to be optimized. And because it's a real-time video, not a time-lapse, and today I wanted to talk about the topic of the conversation during modeling will be why movies are so bad now. I don't know, I don't really understand it. Why movies are so bad, it's so disappointing. Just recently I watched the movie Parasites, that famous South Korean movie which got the Oscar. I'm not really following the Oscars or any other things. I really miss good movies, because lately movies are so incredibly badly done, especially the story thing. The visual part of the modern movies is really good. I cannot tell anything, it's extremely good. But the story part, the plot, and just absolutely, I don't know, people completely lose their mind, or why it has to be that bad. Even movies from my childhood, which at the time were considered really silly and well, not serious at all, like even some dumb action movies, they are now looks fine compared to movies which they produce now. That what's a Rambo movie, the other movies from my childhood, they look okay. When I was a child, any adults were saying that those dumb action movies are not make you smart, or like they're like really bad. They were considered really bad at the time. But compared to now movies, I watched something recently and I was like, wow, those even old dumb action movies, they have a plot, they have a storyline, and the story is logical, and it has start, finish, end, and everything logical, even though it's still dumb action movie. But nowadays, what was it? Just recently, my girlfriend and I decided to watch something, and I was trying to offer a compromise to watch something maybe we both like. Yeah, I like American sitcoms, and I was gonna offer her like to watch Big Bang Theory, but she said she hates it, and because she's a woman, she get to decide what to do, what to watch. And she picked the movie. It was clearly the knockoff of the, what is that movie? The horror movie, the Saw. I think it called Saw. It's like very bloody horror movie. And it wasn't the Saw, but it was clearly a knockoff of that movie. It's like just a copy. They're closed in the room, some group of people, and they have to solve some riddles to get out of there. And after we start watching, within minutes of that movie, my lady friend, she started staring at her cell phone. She wasn't interested in watching it at all, even though she picked it, and I apparently just fell asleep. The movie was that much bad and that much boring, apparently. And I don't know, I don't really understand it lately. Why, like, even basic competence is like you have to admire now. So that's why Parasite, I liked it, the South Korean movie. Even though the end of it was clearly not as strong, but most of the movies is great. Very good, actually. I don't know, does it deserve it to get an Oscar or not, but clearly a rare good movie lately. It somehow reminded me the Joker. If you watch Joker, Parasites could make you hate rich people, I'm afraid. And I was kind of disappointed. Yeah, there's some. That's why I don't really watch movies anymore. I like to watch what I already like, even if I saw that many times over. I would like to watch something I know it's good, because I hate wasting time on something, which not worth it. Sometimes it happened, but very rarely the movie you did not expect to be good become good. What movie that was? I don't remember the name, the title of the movie, but it was so unexpectedly good, especially at the end of it. What's that Matrix lady is it? In the main role, female role. I forgot her name, from second Matrix. Come on. That very good looking lady. She has that Italian name, but I forgot. I have to look it up. But that movie was so unexpectedly good, and I really enjoyed it. Even though, like, it's also really how to say, it really depends on your age. For example, when I was around 12 years old, the movies I liked were just that 10 or 12 years old. I really liked those ninja movies. Like, they were extremely cool. Yeah, now if I'm going to try to watch it, most likely I'm going to laugh at those movies. But at the time, they were so cool. Those ninjas, how they throw stars and all those fights, kung fu. Or what's that style of fighting? Those were the coolest movies ever when I was 10. When I was around 20, I really liked those dumb action movies. Bad Boys 2 or some others. Just stupid action, but it's cool looking thing. Around 20 years old, I was enjoying those type of movies. Around when I was get close to the 30 years old, after reading, I used to read a lot. Now I don't read at all, and it's not a good thing. And because I was reading, I kind of started to like movies which were, how to explain it correctly, lifelike movies. That's why I enjoy movies based on real events or something like that. Even though now I realize a lot of those movies may kind of stretch the truth a lot, and might not be the events in real life and the movie based on those events. It could be two totally different things. So you have to be careful with that. And I like documentaries and real stories. And now I'm almost 40 years old, and just kind of getting old. Maybe that's why I'm so interested now in history in general. Actually, I'm interested in a lot of things, but a lot of time I just don't have time. There are a lot of things to do, there is work, but now because of that virus going on, because of that disease, everything is closed, and now I try to make as much videos as I can about 3D modeling. And this, my videos, making videos about modeling, to me it's kind of motivation, because in general I'm very lazy, I have to admit, and the thing that I have to do videos now about 3D modeling, it makes me to do actual modeling, because otherwise I would just play video games all day, and it's not healthy, especially for person my age. Person my age should not play video games all the time. It's no good. It is no good at all. Even though it's so much fun. And actually, I've played them all. That's one of the other reasons. I play them all. I beat a lot of games, and there is no more games left, at least in my collection, which I haven't beat yet. So I beat them all, I complete them all, and so just I want to do something useful, something practical, something, I don't know, constructive, something constructive. And also during that, I don't want to say every move I made, because it's my tutorials are more for advanced Blender users, because I pick this point, move it there, it's boring. So I'm gonna talk about things which are interesting for me. And today I was gonna talk about the movies, why movies are so bad. I used to enjoy movies. Now every time, even the last time when my lady friend offered me like, let's watch a movie together, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to sit through some boring thing. And even she was bored, because within minutes of it, that movie starts, she starts staring on her cell phone, and that means she got bored very quickly. Look, last two pieces I copy without instance. Okay. And my lady friend did not let me watch my favorite sitcom, and she didn't watch that movie also. So that's life. That is life. It is so great to watch actually good movie, some real slice of reality. The Joker movie I really liked, actually, the latest Joker movie, but it's a comic book character, basically. Yeah, it is comic book character, and it's not even a Batman. It's not supposed to be a good guy. It is actually a villain, and I didn't expect it to be that much good. It was really, really good. Even though story and everything is completely fictional in that movie, it was still kind of realistic somehow. It was realistic somehow. I especially like the moment when they were escorting him to a police station at the end, close to the end, and all other people, all those protesters or whoever were, they people who saw him on TV, they kind of like, after that car accident, with ambulance, they take him out and really respected him for what he done. Because, well, the situation in general was really, and maybe it's wrong to feel sympathy to that kind of character, but there are situations in life which are complicated and complex, and there is no easy solution. Movies and stories are teaching us what to do and how to behave, and we're kind of learning other people's experience through the movies, through the stories of other people, collected experience of other people contained in movies, in books, and it's supposed to guide, supposed to help the whole humanity, even if there is a bad examples of it, like that Joker. Somehow I feel he's right at some things he's manifesting by his behavior, and you can feel sympathy even to a villain, even though last thing was completely useless, pointless murder, which you cannot support in any case. But the guy just crazy. The guy is clearly having mental problems at this stage. And there's Parasites and Joker movie. Basically, last 2 movies I enjoyed in the last 10 years. The last 10 years, it was just a couple movies I truly enjoyed. All other just such a crap. Just I don't know. Is it that much difficult to make a movie? I don't know. My younger sister, she tried to make a story, like for a cartoon or something, and she was gonna write a script or something. I have an ideas, but I just don't have time. Maybe it is that difficult. She told me that it's very difficult to come up with something. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet myself. Maybe I should try to see, to understand. Because it's very easy to criticize something, but maybe it is that much difficult to do a good story, to do a good movie. We're almost halfway done, but again, I'm not going to get too complicated with this tutorial. Just very basic. Just try to model very optimized wheel. Very optimized wheel. This quarantine is kind of stuck to getting annoying, because they're closing roads now. It's illegal. You have to have some pass, and it is kind of getting complicated. And yeah, but you gotta do it, apparently. Even though there is a kind of really weird statistic, and around 400 people die every day, every 24 hours in every country just for natural causes. So I don't know, especially in the very beginning when this whole thing was starting, I was kind of because they have one case, two cases of it for entire China. There are 1.5 billion people. Very few cases were really strange. I was like, clearly more people die from car accidents over there, most likely, daily. Why they pay so much attention to this new thing? And my lady friend, she's a nurse, and she told me like they have a case here too, here in our little town, little place. And well, we have to be careful. We have to be careful. Oh. This is basic, kind of generic wheel, very standard, and I tried to keep it like optimized, low amount of polygons for computer games, but I think I have to make it nicer. I have to add more polygons, but still try to keep the like total amount of polygons. I have to add polygons at the strategic areas, which the areas are most sensible, like where it's going to be most visible that there is not enough polygons. So kind of interesting in the new generation what movies they think are good and what movies they like when they were children. My younger sister, actually, she's 20, but she's not talking to me much. I cannot really tell what she likes, what she doesn't like. It is interesting what young people watch, young people play. I feel so old sometimes because I like computer games from old time. Even though I have a PlayStation 4 and I have modern video games, sometimes I find myself playing Civilization 2 on the emulator, PlayStation 1 emulator. Those times were simpler. The modern games, those online games, I tried to play a couple times, but I get killed way too quickly. I don't even understand what's going on. It's not fun for me. It is not fun for me. That's why I play old times video games. but not much, because I don't have time. I don't have much time. And again, maybe making videos is going to be more useful. More useful. Okay, general wheel in general is done. Let's try to make a tire. Let's try to make a tire. I still couldn't. I was trying to remember the name of that lady I was talking about, the Matrix movie. And she's not from first Matrix movie, and the second one. I think she's a movie with her, which was surprisingly really good. But again, it's the movie. Some people, yeah. If I was 20, I wouldn't probably like it. I wouldn't even understand it, for sure. Because when you're adult, when you're aging, you start to reconsider, rethink all the things going on in life, and you start to enjoy different things for different reasons. In that movie I was talking about, probably I can Google it and easily find out the name. Just give me a second. Probably I should do that, because it's bothering me that I cannot remember her name. She's a famous woman, famous, attractive lady. Come on, it's stuck. Okay. Okay. Come on. It appears in Russian, because I am right now in Russia. Let's turn it into English. Okay. Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, Keanu Reeves. Come on, she has to be somewhere here. She appeared in this movie, I remember for sure. Oh yeah, that's the lady, Monica Bellucci. Come on, I couldn't remember her name for so long. The movie with her was really good, especially at the end. Not the Matrix movie, a different one. I forgot the name again. I have to look it up and Google it. But that movie I really like, but it's kind of. I don't think a lot of guys will like that movie. That movie was kind of girly. It's a drama. It's a phase like somewhere in Sicily. See, I hope I'm pronouncing that word correctly. The island next to Italy. Again, if I'm not mistaken. And after I watched that movie, I was like, I have to find that book, because movie based on a book, and it's like I gotta find that book and maybe read that book, because the movie just blew my mind at some point. But again, it's not a action movie, and it's not a Bad Boys 2, and guys wouldn't like it. But if you have a girlfriend or wife or some lady companion next to you, you can watch that movie with her, and maybe you can even get laid later, because it was kinky. It's kinda kinky. So, and the reason we started watching that movie with my lady friend, because some screenshots of that movie was kinda crazy, and that lady Monica Bellucci does appear in that movie nude, but not fully nude, topless. And I thought maybe I can get something going on with my lady friend at the moment, but I totally didn't expect that movie to be that serious and kind of dramatic and good. It's a love life story. I hope it's based on truth and real events, but good stories usually are. They are all based on real stuff. So, okay, I'm kind of close to complete the actual wheel, and maybe I have to add some comments on that too. Maybe I should stop talking about movies for a second and concentrate a little bit on the actual tutorial. Well, maybe for now I'll have to try to find texture for a tire. Okay, for computer games, you cannot put all those details, all those small details, like on the side of the tire, text and actual protector. I hope that it called protector, what's it called? The drawing, not drawing, the shape which on this surface. I don't know, in Russian they call it protector, in English I don't know its actual name, but again I can Google it. I was talking about I cannot scroll it, but I was talking, you probably can see the movements of my mouse. This thing, this on computer games, it's solved by using texture. And now we try to find the texture for it, for protector and for side of the tire. Something like this, it's all black and white. Okay. Let's try to use this. I hope it doesn't have any copyright. It's kind of low resolution, just 4500 by 4500. But for optimization reasons, yeah, it has to be low resolution. gonna be side of the tire, and we have to find the protector. Okay. Maybe it is called in English same way too, because it's found same thing. This one is good because it has different designs, but it has a copyright on it. If you only zoom in, you can see so 1, 2, 3 RF. So in order to use it, you gotta buy it or something. So you have to find something different. And also this one, it has to be tileable, most likely. This one looks good. Oh, I accidentally closed it. Movies. And if we come back to the topic about the movies, about bad movies, I used to listen to people I know, or opinion of people I know about the movie, and only then watch it. Now there is even nobody to ask, because everyone says that movies are no good anymore. And maybe if you don't want to watch it your time on a bad movie, you can just play some video games. You can get more fun. Okay, in order to use texturing, we cannot use any more screw modifier. We have to apply it and make geometry look like this. It has to be full piece. And for a side of the tire, I'm going to use different materials for a side and for a top of the tire, the protector area. Let's create new material. Assign it. And again, back to the movie topics. Now games looks more interesting than movies, even visually. Visually, some games look are so great nowadays. It's absolutely fantastic how they do it. Actually, I'm getting discouraged if I watch some games how they done. I was like, oh my god, I'm such a bad 3D modeler, because those guys, they're so talented and can do such a great job. The game I really like on PlayStation 4, the Batman Arkham Knight. And I don't know what year. It's not a new game even. It's how many years ago it released. But it looks so good and so of cinema, like a movie-like. Unbelievable, just so great, so good. Okay, let's add a texture, and probably we have to unwrap the texture. Most likely, yeah. Just select invert selection, select side view, and click press U key on the keyboard. And probably in this situation we have to unwrap project from view. And if we go to the UV editor, why it doesn't appear? This is strange. It should look like this. Okay, on the side we basically got it. But it doesn't match a little bit. If we select just edges and try to carefully scale it, this circle. Well, backside, but yeah, backside preferably has to be unwrapped correctly too, because detailization in modern games is crazy. So just select it on the back. We have to look at it from the right side too. And press U key on this keyboard, project from view. Scale this one too. And now both sides are correctly unwrapped. It doesn't have mirrored text, mirrored writing anymore. And the actual top, for top, what should we do? Well, I can mark this two edge loops, mark seams on this edge loops, and just take invisible area and mark seam 2. And now if we unwrap it, it should be unwrapped in one line. Yes, but we have to add texture to it too. Apparently, if you are using one more than one material, in order to change texture in a shader editor, you have to change it manually. You gotta change it manually. scale it. I hope it's a tileable texture. Apparently it is. Scaling it here. That's how we get tire texture. And but it doesn't look realistic because it's just black and white. And we need probably get the normal map to it. For normal map we can use GIMP. Okay. Just find texture. We just download it. Here, I think for normal map in GIMP you gotta download and install the plugin because it doesn't have it by default. So we just created normal map in a GIMP. Add it in the shader editor. And just connecting it to a normal color. Now we don't we can disconnect this from base color, and something is wrong. Something is off. In order to make it appear nice on the viewport mode, you have to change this from sRGB into non-color. Now it appears okay. It doesn't have enough depth on it though, so probably have to remake a little bit the normal map, make it depth a little bit more pronounced. I hope it's gonna help. Slightly better. And again, I have to admit, I'm not really good at it, at the texturing and shadering, so you probably have to look up for some texturing and shadering tutorials in other places. The entire scene, actually, oh, maybe I have to count it only when I'm finished. Okay, then now I have to create normal map for a side texture too, to make it look realistic. The filters, map, normal map. Here I don't think I need that much depth. I gotta answer those text messages. So just give me a second, excuse me, I have to answer those text messages. Just a second. Okay, that's done. And we made a normal map for a side of the tire, and going to the basically same process, just selecting different material, tire side, copying this one, and you see how I try to keep the shader extremely simple, and not as complex shaders. They take, I don't know how much actually computational power they can require, but I don't know, to me too complex shaders look scary, because I'm kind of getting confused in all those connections, and in my opinion it also takes way too much time. So it's I just personally I'm trying to keep shaders extremely simple and extremely, well, it's a little bit too much depth, but we can always reduce it by reducing strength of the normal map. Let's make 0.5. Oh, looks slightly better, maybe even less. Inside of the tire, maybe it doesn't, it's more reflective, so let's reduce roughness to 0.3, and on the tire protector roughness has to be increased maybe to 0.7. Well, I didn't really finish the tire, not tire, the rim. Tire is almost done. Yeah, it needs more complex shadering, but tire on the actual rim, just and I forgot to put the places for bolts. Let's make 3D models, the holes for bolts. And again, I use very few polygons to make it very light. Maybe we need a little loop here, manual. Have to put manually a little loop, because if I do that in automatic with this loop cut tool, I cannot control the distance. Well, of course I can move the points later, but for efficiency reasons, yeah, maybe this way is better. It's slightly faster, but it really depends on geometry. Okay, now get rid of those 4, and this time copy it without checking linked, because later we cannot join them, so we have to do it this way. Oh, it's gonna be just one more wheel tutorial, but this time for video game. I don't have much experience. I worked for video game company with a very short period of time, and it was kind of a long time ago. It was year 2005, 2006. So I don't have much experience. I can only see how the 3D models done for video games. I'm in what's they call it? On the PlayStation. I'm sorry, I kind of lose my thoughts for a little moment, and I have to apologize for that. I have to read more to express my thoughts more clearly. I gotta read a little bit more, but I don't have time. I feel lazy a lot of time, and just I have to make myself do it. That's another reason too. It's kind of a little bit maybe more than I planned in the beginning. A little bit more polygons than I planned in the beginning. And this fuel cap area is not very rounded, so I have to manually fix it with a Shift S combination. To get it more spherical. If you pay attention, I can show you on the central part. You see how rounded it looks, but in reality it's completely flat, this polygon. Because of the normals, it's acting this way. And if we do inset and scale down this polygon a little bit, now it appears the way it should appear, flat. So, well, this is basically it. It is a little bit more than an hour. Subscribers request video, but now you can see the whole thing, tire and the rim. It looks, well, not as a low polygonal, let's say. For modern standard, I think it's still a little bit not enough polygons, but it's just 3000 triangles. If you can see my mouse movements right now, it is 3000 triangles and 1400 polygons, wheel and tire, but it's just a one wheel and tire. Keep in mind that in actual vehicle it has to be at least 4 wheels and tires. So this wheel going to eat up on one vehicle 10,000, 12,000 triangles and around maybe 6,000 polygons. Well, this is it for today. Well, maybe one last thing where you can kind of increase slightly the amount of polygons, or the feeling that it's more rounded, because if you get close enough you can still see the that it's the slight angles, and I hope it's gonna work, 'cause I'm just going to subdivide it, and with a Control Shift S, actually it's not right. Maybe I should select all this, but it's going to add much more polygons if I subdivide this one. Yeah, it added one more loop here, which I don't really need. I can always dissolve it. So it's added one more polygon, the actual subdivision. But now it became difficult to select it. With these edges selected, I use combination Alt Shift S to make it more rounded. And if I move it or scale it slightly, it's going to appear more how to say, rounded, even though we didn't add polygons here. Probably this area has to be rotated, not rotated, fixed, and it has to be selected first all the way. Here on this edge loop it's going to be more visible what I do. So we selected all these edges, and by using combination Alt Shift S, you see what I do? Just make it rounded, but only on this visible area. We have slight issues on the side of it, these lines, but in this mode it's almost invisible. Didn't really work. Maybe it was a little trick little trickery. It's not very pronounced too. Maybe that's why we didn't really see the change. We actually can compare backside, because I didn't do the backside. Can you see the angle? Here we can see that slightly there is a slight angle, even with this that much close-up. On this side there is a very kind of smooth curvature going on, rounded curvature. Well, but it's gonna be visible maybe in a like very say real close-ups, and on this kind of close-ups you can even tell that there is not much. You can see pixelated tire texture, but the original was kind of just 4500 by 4500, so you cannot expect much out of it. Well, okay, this is it for today. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, you can always leave a mean comment on the comment section below. Till next time, bye bye.